from the Office of the President, transmission of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2024. It has come to the attention of this office that while the President and other senior officials of the presidency were at Peduasi for the cabinet retreat on Thursday, 14th of March 2024, you attempted, because there are some clauses in it and the motive behind this document. You attempted to submit the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2024 into brackets the bill to Jubilee House for the President to signify his assent or otherwise to the bill. This office is aware of 2 pending applications for an order of interlocutory injunction, both filed on 7th March 2024 in the Supreme Court in Dr. Amanda Odoi, the Speaker of Parliament, and the Attorney General, and the last Richard Sky. Now, the Parliament of Ghana and the Attorney General, respectively, to restrain you and Parliament from transmitting the bill to the President and also to restrain the President from signifying his assent to the bill, pending the final determination of the matter. The Attorney General has by letter dated 18th of March 2024 informed the President that he has been duly served with both applications and has advised the President not to take any step in relation to the bill until the matters raised by the suit are determined by the Supreme Court. It is the understanding of this office that both applications have also been duly served on Parliament. Therefore, it will be improper for you to transmit the bill to the President and equally improper for this office to receive the bill. There are 2 things there. Take notes. It will be improper for you to submit to us, and it will be improper for us to also receive. It is unnecessary to receive the bill until the Supreme Court determines the matters raised in the suit. Indeed, it is settled law that during the pendency of the interlocutory injunction application, the status quo ought to be preserved, and no action should be taken that would result in prejudicing the injunctive relief sought and undermining the authority of the courts. In the circumstances, you are kindly requested to cease and desist from transmitting the bill to the President until the matters before the Supreme Court are resolved. Best wishes, Nana Bediako Asante, Bediatu Asante, Secretary to the President, copied the clerk to Parliament House, Accra. So the Vice President, Jubilee House, Chief of Staff, Jubilee House, Attorney General and Minister for Justice, and the Majority Leader, Parliament House. Omo akope womo attention Mr. Cyril K.O. Insia the one document ni so bia ma yire me ho say maka ne pepepe eti brofo na me kan de nini Ivan omo ti ase Ivan
I think you see letter no it's a pack of rubbish. Oh yes, it's rubbish. And we don't need to waste time on this. You see, we've gotten to a point, I think, President Akuffo Addo, the level of disrespect or war for the people of Ghana, no, sometimes is quite amazing. And the level of dishonesty in the discharge of his duty as president, is so annoying. And sometimes, what's in China, we will be reasonable, watching everything from a distance, and you ask yourself, do these people really respect the people of Ghana at all? The answer is no. So, say you confer a very disrespectful, arrogant people who do not respect the people. This is the kind of outcome I will be. Yeah, so we will fear men kai there. Okay, Abraham, your friend is saying, "You levy eba."
Yeah.
Similar suit was filed at the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
The president went ahead because I am with the conviction that in the exercise of his discharge as a president of the republic, no court can stop him from exercising that mandate.
Yeah.
And as I sign, we know the implementation of the act, then the court can put an injunction until the matter is resolved. In the discharge of his duty as president, court cannot stop president. The same way a court cannot stop parliament from doing adjuma oye say oye wie now free say you run it out now our consequences are everything affect your man for then you put an injunction on it. That is why that particular your friend say say go na ya chiche mu come friend say separation of powers. So the president had demonstrated clearly say in the case na ya 11 otumi ekoso at the point I file suit he went ahead so obekaya abra electoral commission and making sure say any registration at district offices your friends say mama be catch us or the date na share the bottom corner political party file a suit and not challenging that particular exercise. What happened? At the end of the day, the electoral commission went ahead and did what they were supposed to do because catch us on the mandate is on timeline and this our we na court no be court no disregard it. They went ahead and did whatever that they did. Even court date or the two also be case now your registration exactly. So you see we cannot just reduce our judicial system because my catch said that is the last point when we lose its essence you lose the essence of our judiciary, everybody will become a law unto himself. That is why there is this emergence that people prefer so call and court because they don't trust our judicial system. And I think that is the level creeping into your political landscape. You're not careful, we may lose this particular republic. You see, that I say, if you look at the kind of debt, the economic mess Akuffo Addo need creating, and where we find ourselves so far as this economy is concerned, there is no way the president can sign to this bill. So is this a way all year just to ensure that time no be elapse? Then go away and that responsibility will pass on to whoever become president. And that is the kind of game or play. But me, I'm your president. Now me just sign the bill now. I will look you straight into your face and tell you, say, I'm not going to sign it. Straightforward. You see, it's always good to be playing with people. Tell them and give out your reasons. You tell them, and now say, you think there are other aspects. Now, if we say, I go on toward that, then you can call on Parliament to go back and do that particular amendment. And that's a reservation. Call to the leave it to them to do the other thing. You are a president, no law stop you from doing what you're doing. We are not a call to this it implementation, even a harmful effect. They can put injunction on it implementation. Because what we know is the court interprets the law. Exactly. And this is a bill, it's not yet a law. That is why Mr. T and we say the level of dishonesty. They do not respect the people of Ghana. And oh, you're surprised. Leadership now, leaders are Abranta friend Dr. UNT because it's a flask. And then I say for at the moment, catch them so our domo. Dr. UN, we will be serious. When you born a sensocrat, me say on free UN. Oh, it's true. Now say I will be a compensate people. Oh, what's when you born out and I say, "Never free." Obi free you and now this guy is able to convince leaders, parliamentarians, soldiers, your first top musicians, and then I said for them, say, "Oh, come on, one word now, sound like what I did with ya." Dream the whole team, whatever Tanakroma so do. Johnny GBU. What's that? He's GBU. No, I don't have any issue with them. But you see, at the top level, we are talking about Mpanimfo. I had it to me and show Monsa. We are very serious person. Now a branch with him fatwa at 2020 home at Chamamo. You have no locus playing president. That is what I'm telling you. So I don't know what from no. And that is what I'm telling you. I don't know what from no. And man said, very serious. Because the very moment I saw the guy on TV, I saw the yes idea, and I said, ah wow, because uhuna, you begin to ask yourself a lot of questions as you really offer you an empire. Because yes. Hey, you're right. As somebody can very serious now. Yeah, it's true. You see, I'm a person, I pay attention to small detail. And on the money we are very we can peep and make those kind of way. I'm sure so will give us time a bit because yes, yeah. So the seriousness of the matter, the level of thinking, our form. And who am na wuhui. So where priority exists, people will look down. Nanka yetiha, papa ya ye may his soul rest in peace.
John Kuma.
Yet me could see multi-billion-dollar your friend saying party office our way. Then look at the state of the hospital. He never ever in his wider imagination of ever thought to say, or baby who are a suhum no moten beko.
Yeah.
But at the end, that is where he went. And yet TV so I said there is the need for us medical infrastructure and as for young pejano, we are nipanas or adwene ultima. Now na Captain Smart can say be. Or say we nim nyansa no we greedy. Say when young man for yanom because yakasa ye yama ho. Because a time will come, you can't even pick your passport. Some minister may fly out there.
Yeah. A
time will come, you cannot even sit in a taxi. You see, I dream from and you didn't panosono, you say you no opportunity, we are better than other people.
Yeah.
But leadership is not about you being better. It is about empowering people. That is why I sit here and tell people say, you can't leadership, but the greatest achievement is to invest in people. It's not about I'm sit down and I'm not dying to say, or dying no this way. I will see a folk because you are the you invest in human, not properties in that. But where we are supposed to ensure say we elevate people, build the necessary infrastructure. Sabaya ebit meja edin, adin tina da bia ete ebon kromadin, adam kroma or Damien sa is legon. Was it in the cars, then the car where they car that no see the museum hall. But the guy a living legacy that transcends beyond generation. And ye boni din or babe boni din me babe boni din sa because what leave an imprinter now or you selfless near man as we are when we are or make sure or invest ama me no ye future set up companies make sure he set up Tema as an industrial city. People go there and fight for state land. And now opa yenya analysis from 92 landa amanfo we are okroma na na Kumasi and I say babia police ye first medical doctors at ye two omo because ye ton asase no in Sassen, ya told in your home, say because Yabano, who ye, Sabaya, when people see us, they will think that we are better than other people. But leadership is about empowering people. That is all that leadership. That is why I keep telling people, say, the basic attribute of being here to be a leader is empathy. So we need to idea now. You have no business playing president. If it is about money, you think people are talking about money. Because you can't see car and go Obama and as for no mayor president though. You come about people who have positive intuition to the future. They have ideas on making me build the kind of tour. That is our name, because you're proud you're independent. You're inside bill in America today because of a cantino. What sign bill name? That is why finance minister wrote that particular letter. What do because America over there, some of the states same-sex marriage is illegal at the state level. But he's telling you say don't legalize it. In sovereignty, but we have sold our birthright, we have sold our sovereignty, we have sold our dignity. There is nothing left in the name of the Ghana you'll be proud of because Ghana shining star and Ghana a canon as a family. We need to be wise. The thinking level of a penny for no moon racy, na greed, na a blind amount for Nyansa, a crack tinter who penny TV so Casasa crack. Can't send gumsa. Nyansa, we a problem, Kroma say.
Nyansa, we a problem.
Bill Way, as a confusion be about around the bill, and see, people don't really understand what you're talking about. The bill, no, and yes, say you pass a bill, no, it means yaje. LGBTQ debi.
Oh yeah.
The bill is actually trying to criminalize LGBTQ plus. And see, if the president signs it, then it means say oh yes, I'm going to be actual. But say one sign, then it means those people are free to operate. That's what people have to understand. But if you as a president pass a bill, no, he has legalized LGBT that's a confusion I've picked up from the populace. Yes, and see, passing the bill about criminalizing LGBTQ and those activities. So oh yes, I know you bet you. But the president's not sign, then it means those things are still allowed. You can do whatever you want to. But you see, the main issue about all of this, no, it is not. There were three arms of government, right?
Yeah.
Now, the only part of three arms are a near representative of the people, Judiciary. I'll say this again. The only part of the three arms of government that is not representative of the people, the Judiciary. Because executive, no, you know, you're talking about the president. Parliamentarians, yes. But we don't vote to elect our judiciary. The judiciary is appointed by the president. Into Nipa 9 are solely responsible for the interpretation of the law on all of us our behalves without our consent. It's very problematic. It's a very, very dangerous precedence. And I've said, argument on governance and all this, but nobody has raised this issue.
Yeah.
So the most powerful arm of government, which is the judiciary, the interpretations of the so-called law we have in Ghana, no, it is not representative of the people.
Yeah.
It is the president who appoints the members of the judiciary. But they are the ones who can tell you to say, you understand? So much power has been put in certain few people.
Yeah.
9 people. But these 9 people do not represent the people of Ghana because we've not given them our mandate. It is delegated authority where it has been delegated to them, which is not law. And see, one of the things we've been pushing for is say new constitution, no? We have to restructure every single part of our governance system, including the judiciary. So we cannot 30 million people be ruled in the judiciary by 9 people who don't represent us or who we've not given a mandate to represent us. It's very dangerous. And what can happen is if those 9 people decide to choose a certain path, which is different from what Yang has
30 million.
Decided this is what we want.
Yeah.
No? Those 9 people can actually sidestep all 30 million people's opinions or views and do what they think is right. Which is very
Lolo Bini Akuffo basically nominate representative for parliament.
Said the 8th parliament or the 4th republic has been the most criminal one of all the parliaments. Because how do you run when 4 main areas don't have representation in parliament? But you're taxing all those people. And they forgot and said it was taxation without representation. And America caused civil war. Yes, but I say sensitive issues that can really break nations. No, Ghana, the day agro. Yeah, the day agro. But this is a very serious issue. So we have to look again at our governance structure, particularly with the judiciary. Say, if governance democracy is by representation of the people, then we cannot run a system or an arm of government which is solely by appointment by someone we've given delegated authority to, and also are delegating the authority to those people. It is wrong. Judiciary has to be representative of the people. So the people have to have a direct say into who becomes what, particularly in the judiciary. Then laws that have been decided by the people say, those people cannot go and give a different interpretation or interpretation of those laws that will be different from what the aspirations and hopes of the people are. It's something we have to look at very carefully.
Okay.
But to wrap up on this thing, what is my stance on the LGBTQ thing? Titi, what 2 consenting adults decide to do in the bedroom is none of our business. Again, what 2 consenting adults decide to do in the privacy of their bedroom is not our business. We cannot use national time we discuss national issues to decide what people do in their bedrooms. However, if that activity is not consensual, then it's not a right, it is a crime. I said this again. If those activities between adults or whoever is involved is not consensual, then it means it's a crime that is being committed. And every crime must be dealt with according to the laws as they are. That I'm for it. But I'm saying, what 2 consenting adults decide to do in the privacy of their bedrooms is not our business. You and I are not there to go and watch them and see what they are doing. But I'm saying, let us not waste our time, which we can use for how we can deliberate and build our nation. Let's not spend that time deliberating on what people do in their bedrooms. Yeah. But however, if that act is not consensual, in the consensual year will mean if it's being done with a minor, and as it will be in 18 years and so on all those things, then it becomes a crime. And if it becomes a crime, the laws of Ghana are very clear on what crimes are and how to deal with those crimes. But let us not waste our time on petty stuff. There are very serious issues we should deal with as a nation. Going forward, Ghana doesn't have the luxury to be dealing with this mediocrity, Debbie. And to this time, we need leaders who are level-headed, who can bring up national discourse on that level. You bet to me how far I drink, say, this is what we want Ghana to be in the next 5-10 years. And move to those.
Okay.
Thank you.
I agree with you, some parts.
Right.
But because at the way the ama me were interest for building.
Right.
You know why? What's it?
Consenting
adults are doing in their bedroom is none of our business.
Yes, because you even know. Yes.
You need to be here in the bedroom.
Right.
But the ama issue now issues say they are trying to promote it.
You can't force your thing on someone.
That is our point right now.
Yes.
Because whatever somebody is doing in his or her room, no,
it's your
meaning
yes.
But so we be so What you say? There we are bedroom in front of home, but unfortunately on my side, some member for them for now the new bedroom where I mean you would be. Now I introduce society now. Not me quite a number.
Then you're training.
No, it's not matter this time. It's not a matter of training your child.
Titi,
Training
but you don't know who your children are going to. But you don't know who your children are going to.
That is where we are now.
You're trying to say illicit drugs, right? It is illegal to use certain drugs in Ghana, but people are using it, and you don't know.
And that's why it's criminal when we catch you up.
But people are using it. I'm saying, baby, so you as a parent, you have to make sure you train your children so that they don't engage in certain practices because you won't go everywhere with your children.
Chikasa, you can't be say, you can't simple. One will babonia, what's the word you wouldn't batty. Where I told you, and your parents and inform so. Why yet you was so oh ye be? Do you know, sir? Now say ya near ya one. Can you call no crown on the chlam quadana diano? No more introduce one indirectly in the school.
I said this, if you do it in your bedroom, it's not my business. But
as for me, if you do it in your bedroom, if you don't do it anywhere, it's just my consent. Because at the end of the day, you get sick, you will take your to our hospital. Go and occupy our bed.
I'm saying, sir, if it is done in the privacy of your bedroom, that is your business. But if you come out and you're trying to promote it, say, say we should accept it, that you cannot force me to accept that. It's that's where the line is drawn. But I'm saying, say, you and I there. But we don't know.
I'm not disputing what you are saying.
But don't come outside and force say,
that is our point.
No,
and I say, I be so one man scare or be say, we are dining at Chihuahua. Punishment is here. People take advantage of it.
I would like us to spend that energy on corruption.
It should be regulated. We cannot live in like that. If you engage in
corruption, it should be a capital punishment. I wish we would champion this. Say, anybody who is corrupt in this country, particularly government appointees, if you are corrupt in your court, it should be a capital punishment. We should rather focus on that energy on these people.
I know the law now.
So we can pass the law for this one to then actually say
but at least it puts some fear in some people.
Corrupt people are not scared though.
What say democracy? You build it on value system. Constitution bia or mind bia will be no the values. Some bit me kind of culture and as for you try to infuse a
some of it.
Yes, and the amount as unique identity. And you have culturally exactly. This is the kind of thing we don't want it.
Yes.
So as people, if collectively we've come to the conclusion, say, some consensus among us, and with the bipartisan approach that was used to pass this thing, across way, I think that should be the final point.
Exactly.
And you see, exposure, very dangerous. There is this argument. Primary school, you hear this argument, nature and nurture. I can sit here and tell you, say, about 90% of criminals around the world are criminal because of nature. There is no gene that will be a criminal. That is why America, prison, there was a research, one day I will share the finding with you. Majority of criminals of America, jail on free foster home, children's home, and I said, no, be do you know why? At that early stage, they were treated as candidates. Affection, love, and those kind of things. They were not exposed to. So they grow. Life is a competition for them. So when that children grow now, to them, a struggle for survival. What you see, say, the born, the mind, because growing up, the kind of exposure, So, it's sexual orientation at the early stage. You try to orient people to this thing. You see, that is why I'm saying that we need to go beyond this bail. Because today, go to Netflix. Every single movie out there has a component of gay or lesbianism.
Even cartoons now your money when crisis. So we are very critical. So this time around, some manager cartoons I pay attention to the particular content no more. Because some of them you could see cartoon Bema and another cartoon Bema and they will be hugging. Now one smart kakrebia.
So what are some Nikano? So in a way they are trying to normalize it. When the mind gets exposed to certain things and normalize it. So I know the day who's more you grow with it and this is it's a normal thing. So law must move to a certain extent that you ever target those things as well.
Because
you may have the law because no, can your friend is saying corruption is illegal, but every day corruption is also. So you need to move beyond it. That is why we are very much concerned about even movies we show on our TV stations. Yeah. How are we infusing our culture into the music, into the movie, and the music, and some other way? Now, because the globalization, this Western culture are dominating all over. Oba kisi oba, bema kisi or it's becoming normal. How do we move on? Your culture or if your torture, and now him for two galam say, or what I do, they call your culture sem. I him for two galam say, Ukroma your tons I say, or what I do, they culture. And movies na so obi aso ye the offer for commercial sake. Nobody is regulating the system. And no YouTuber say bin sem hu na e koso no. Obi atena say put ade together also ye movie. Anything na ye go. Nobody is regulating the system. So we are going berserk. A time will come. Me say ade we beji yensam. Just mark it somewhere. So we need to move beyond the rhetorics. Na this kind of institution mu ade. Na you make sure say we all don't want it because Christians, Muslims, whoever, but what are we doing to ensure say the infiltration of this material and as for air try to normalize it for our kids, you know? How are we taking care of? Now we build a law that's look at a very narrow aspect. Now we jaya said no can obi no be show be bedroom. You might not want to see what is happening. When you so not damage. So let us target the root cause. Now you're dealing with. Now see you do that point, and I think that this is a level of education and ministers and as for Yashas you projected. But yet one you play crocodile the John with Ghanaians playing on the minds of people. I think we need to get serious in this country. And the clergy is in a traditional way, you know. What level? Education sensitization ben say is it here. I listened to one gospel musician I say already the LGBT because of his followers on social media and so forth. You see that kind of staggering hypocrisy. So I think we need to move beyond. Now you see by president signing that particular.
I think the president can sign it. Or the Supreme Court back delay process now, then he saying it'll be over, and then he goes on. He can sign it.
One message who say better
he can sign it.
Yeah, many ambuafo.
He can sign it, yeah.
Okay, Pacho Edibesiana, your time on a call, and yes, I can discuss here for the Yano. Yamiado, I'm next week, you been your time. But one, just a minute comment on it.
Oh, medium comment say, yeah, fashion the Kokuma and innocent.
What are they?
Yeah, the ship.
What a ship of Kokuma.
Yeah, I will say that be a catcher say when we come here and we say people say NDC MPP it doesn't mean say anybody can just come out. You see, we need to get serious in this country. You see, Ghana for they just want out. So if you have a dear person who convince Ghana for, we should be serious about it. But my catcher say people in the middle, we don't see any serious person. Some are shopping for attention. Some are just jokers. Some are just want to be seen in as a forum because near man as a foreign and your proper organization. They be winning elections. So, no. We see Kwame Nkrumah back room. I say, just give me a minute. Kwame Nkrumah back room, man. I'm going to find a buy. UGCC for no more than a buy. And say voter region north and Kahon and they're concentrating on your organization. But Nkrumah as a visionary, so say Ghana independent. The inclusion of north and that particular part, so he was sneaking out to do organization at that particular level. It took years to organize. How can you just pop up and say within the election year, just NDC and MPP are established political institutions? You think you can just use few months because Ghanaians are complaining? I think we need to get serious. And a message, you know, so we should cook it in such a way, say, about some clear message. I'm 40 of say, so me desert me NDC and I me desert me MPP and I me go for the alternative, but the alternative is better. But if the alternative is a joke, do you think people will say their party? Innocent. Yeah, drag the sea a prono. Edia kotoku mase ni etimi ahyepo ne yama I think say the bebo na say on high obi a communication pia better because every time you obakwa interview bia no I think say vote no nya wan ya ote so half. Oh yes, I'm telling you, because it's better obe high obi a you see say communication obi how nya good. So you can hire somebody to speak for you because me in most of the interview now anyway be no one who be no exactly because I think kasa no teso abebo na people there are people who are very good when it comes to communication no mo because ono ankasa dey
but yeah, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So Utie Nikasa so far, no, there's nothing impressive. Me have said, you see, so he has not been able to put two sentences together. I bet make sense. Ose Uba bedroom just see no to Kumasi.
To Kumasi.
Dredging this obetiti ade no mu. Obeyi mad no, how do you say mad? Atache no. Obe yi atache no. So how say we dredge epo? And then that takes the sea to Kumasi. You see, that doesn't make sense. Maybe some
when you so correct English, but person actually say, "Obecha a pine, the free apunum na apunat senior copy." But
the cost for that, a better cost efficient to rather build an effective railway system from the harbour straight.
Railway the abacha, airport the
So you see, who is
normal in Suokra Ayrton flooding situation. After the let's get serious.
The politics no Obama one mamuya unse okoye no ebi okokan sem papa bebere ho but we no unse na trend all the platforms no so it seems that communication is very key,
very important,
very important. So if you want to be president, I may say the mere fact that people are complaining doesn't mean say anybody can just put on to the fray. You can't win election on somebody's weaknesses. You have to win on your merit.
Yeah.
That should be the final way. You can't win election on somebody's weaknesses because you think NDC MPP a mess and an alternative. No. Communication, I think, say he need to do better because who know, but could be or say I am the savior who have come. Savior.
So on the note of we dredging the sea to Kumasi, yeah, that's